Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RPG Clubhouse. My name is Kyle,
My name is Michael.
and today we're going to be taking a look at the Dungeon Master Screen Wilderness Kit. Stay tuned. So, what makes the new Wilderness DM Screen Kit different than other DM screens that we've had in the past from Wizards of the Coast? Well, the Wilderness Kit comes with a bunch of extra accessories, such as 5 dry erase sheets, a hex map, food and water tokens. It also comes with 27 cards that have things like conditions and initiative trackers on it, and it all comes in a neat little package with the DM screen, obviously. So let's take a look at some of the older screens and then compare it to what's in the box with our new Wilderness DM Screen Kit. So here we have 6 DM screens that have been put out by Wizards of the Coast. And so we're going to kind of look at these to see what's been made already and then compare that to what we get in the Wilderness DM screen kit. These ones over on this side, the Storm King's Thunder, the Rage of Demons, and the Curse of Strahd, are all specific to those modules. And so when we look at them or go to the back sides of them, you'll note that what the DM has are maps of the regions, Barovia, things like that, or the maps of where to access the Underdark for Rage of Demons and things like that. So those are module specific for the DM, so if they're running that campaign specifically. A lot of folks, especially myself, don't run necessarily, or if I do run a module, I run it within the bigger context of a story. So we have 3 other DM screens. The one in the back is the original that was put out when 5th edition came out, when they published it. And so that was the first DM screen. This is the DM Dungeon Master screen reincarnated. I really like that art. That red dragon is my favorite. And then this one, which is quite different from the rest of them, is from the Essentials kit. So it was a box set that Wizards of the Coast put out. Out of all of the screens, the one on this side here is paper. So it is very flimsy and thin, whereas these are nice cardboard that's glossed over. On the backs of these ones, as you'll be able to see, is a lot of information. Now, I have my own notes and things that I stick on my DM screen just to remind me of things, especially when I'm playing. I put sticky notes and things like that on the screen. But you'll note that it's basic information for a Dungeon Master to be able to run the game without having to look things up in the player's handbook all the time. So these are the screens I have. I don't think it's all of them, but you kind of get the idea of module-specific screens versus just regular DM screens. So let's take a look at the Wilderness Kit and see how it measures up to what's already on the market and what we already have. All right, so here we have the Dungeon Master Screen Wilderness Kit. I've just taken the plastic off of it, and so this is what you will see when you purchase or buy the kit. So let's go ahead and flip it open. You can see it's just kind of like a portfolio, a folder portfolio here, and inside you have the screen, and then some of the extra materials that they provide. So I do want to point out that because of the packaging and the design on this, you can see here that it's bent in the corner. And so because it's not kind of like that tough packaging or a box, the corner of the screen is actually bent, which is kind of unfortunate. See there that it's bent. Also, one of the first things that I noted or have noticed is that the art's beautiful, but the texture, it is that tough cardboard material, but it's not glossed over like the other screens. You can see it's a matte finish. You see how the white light there bounces off of it instead of glosses off of it. So they don't have the gloss on the screen that they have. Again, see the corner is bent there from the packaging. They don't have the gloss on it that they put on like the Dungeon Master refinished screen. So that's kind of unfortunate in a sense. But let's go ahead and fold this thing out and see if we can get the big view. All right, so on a positive note, this art is absolutely gorgeous. It is just beautiful. I love that the Kraken over here. You can see the Kraken coming out of the water. Again, and this is focused on, as the title would suggest, the wilderness or traveling. Several dragons go through the cold mountains and then kind of into the sunken abyss here, the desert. So again, the art on this thing is absolutely beautiful. If we flip it over, it's pretty similar to any other DM screen, has basic things, but because it's based upon travel and things like that, you'll have now vessel speed, obviously food and drink, which comes in handy. It has things about distance and cover, light, and something that travel pace, something that it's not on the other screens, it's on this screen. You'll see here is extreme cold, extreme heat, and strong wind. So that's kind of details that they have added in for this screen specifically. Similar to the other DM screens and the reincarnated screen and the essentials kit, you have the basic conditions such as invisible, paralyzed, restrained, prone, things like that. They've also given you the charmed, frightened status and conditions there, and then this is kind of different: long jump, high jump, suffocating. And concentration. So, things like suffocating, when you talk about falling in water and having one of the characters have to hold their breath or run for a long time, that becomes an issue in travel and in wilderness. And then they have things like setting the DC, the difficulty, tracking DCs, objects and armor, and hit points. So, it seems to me, and maybe it could just be me, and I could be just making this up, but it seems like there's a more white space or empty spots where there's nothing in there on this screen than there are the other DM screens. But that could just be me, and could just be, a lost perspective. Now you'll note that I said there is a hex map. So on some of these things that they have here, a lot of times in Dungeons and Dragons or other RPGs, travel is marked in hexes. And so you look at the hexes for mileage instead of the actual squares that we use in combat or on a combat screen, which equal 5 feet. The hexes may equal 5 miles or miles or whatever that may be. So just keep in mind that this screen is kind of put together toward the hex system. Here are conditions cards. So these are kind of cool. If you're a new DM or you're learning to play the game, these could be very, very helpful. These could be very helpful. You can see the art on them is kind of cool. They are just a simple, a little bit better than a card stock, and they just tell you what each means. So petrified, paralyzed, invisible. I'm not actually sure I would use these in my game unless I was playing with new players or somebody new. But you can see unconscious, exhausted, extreme heat. So these are the new ones that they put on the screen there for you to be able to access. We also have the initiative cards. So initiative is the order that you go in Dungeons and Dragons. Some people do initiative a little bit different. They roll initiative at the beginning of the encounter, and then that's the order for until the encounter is done or until combat or whatever it may be is done. Some people will re-roll at the top of each round, which is 6 seconds in the game. But these cards kind of tell you. I guess they'd be good for a new person, letting them know, you're number 1, you're number 2, number 3, and then the back just kind of says initiative. Art's cool, but I wouldn't use those. Kind of useless. This is a pop-out box, I guess, to keep all your cards in. All right. So if we pop that out there, we can see. And again, it's just a kind of a flimsy cardboard. So you can keep all of those cards that you probably won't use in your game in that. All right, and then we have these. Now these are made of dry erase material. I don't know if you can see. They're a little bit more glossy and a little bit better made. But it talks about journey in the wilderness and some things, and then it's front and back material. Weird, locales and food and water, monuments, things of that nature, and then you have a supply tracker. So this could actually be kind of handy when you're talking about food and water, traveling over a long distance of time. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the combat or the story and forget that, travel is part of the game. So we have to take that into consideration. So, and then on the back is a hex map. So if you wanted to, use a dry erase marker, you could do that on the back of this, and actually on the back of this other one here. So you can kind of put these together as hex maps, and on this one. So you got 3. And this is about wild chases. So this is just information about how to roll initiative, how to move, and how to do like a chase scene, which could be good info. I don't want to let all that out in case copyright or something. But you get 3 hex maps, so you can do dry erase if you wanted to do that on the fly. So. And then this is just simply actions in combat, like what you can do in combat. So if you're unfamiliar with the game, this could be helpful, along with those initiative cards and conditions and things like that. And that's it. That's what's in the box for the Wilderness Kit. So if you decide to purchase, that's what you're going to get. That's everything that's included. Let's cut back, and we'll give you my final thoughts or final take on this. All right, so final thoughts on the DM's Wilderness Screen Kit. For me, I would say it's a pass. It's just not enough items and things included that are actually useful. The initiative cards, I can't see myself or us playing and taking the cards and like, okay, everyone choose a card and that's your initiative. Why? When you have a dice, it's it's a D20 system, it's a D20 game. So that's really useless. And when we found out that when we were pulling them apart, they started to rip, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're actually not even that well made. The screen itself, the art's beautiful. I think we all agree that the art is fantastic on the screen. I really do like the art. I'm a little disappointed that it's not glossed like the other ones, and that it's bent in the corner because of the packaging of the way the materials are packaged there. Again, the inside of the screen is, it's all the good information, but some of it, is hit or miss, take it or leave it. So overall, though, I think this product is just another ploy for Wizards of the Coast to make more money off of folks. And the reincarnated Dungeon Master screen with the red dragon on it is by far, at least in my opinion, better than this product. So I would give it a pass. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching this review of the Dungeon Master Screen Wilderness Kit. If you liked what you saw here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. If you're looking for your own online game of Dungeons & Dragons, you can visit the RPG Clubhouse website, and there's information there about how to contact me or contact us, and we can run a game for you and your friends. All right, till next time, don't forget to slow down,
simplify, and stretch your imagination.